How did you, I never got to ask you this.
Yeah.
How did you feel, I don't know when it was, but I think you had popped in and done a set at like Governor's, I remember in Long Island.
Yeah.
And it leaked.
That's right.
Oh yeah, it's such a good set.
And nobody, like I didn't know you then, whether this was like okay to you, like where you let it go, was it upsetting? Like what was the actual?
Well, it was a real drag because I was back to work and I was trying to get, so I was working at the Cellar and it was hard there and there was a lot of controversy about my working and I just wanted to get 45 minutes so that I could put a show on that was me announced so that I'm in my own place.
Right.
And I got there as quick as I could.
Yeah.
And then I started doing Governors and mostly because it's the closest club.
Yeah.
And they're great guys there. They just always invite me back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Names.
Yeah.
Suck at it.
Yeah. I only know one.
Yeah. Mark.
Yeah.
Mark. But so, yeah. So I was there and I was doing shows and I was having a ball and it was I didn't go on stage for 10 months, which is a very long time.
Oh my God.
And then this kind of shit at the Cellar and then I'm back. It's my own crowd and I'm feeling my mojo a little bit. I'm getting back and I've been I hadn't looked at media at all or news because it was scary for me. So I was a little in the dark about what was going on in the world, but I was playing with an idea. It was the first night I did those jokes. And it was just about young people taking themselves very seriously. That was the general thing, was that I just remember being that age that we were just jackasses.
Yeah.
And I remember watching movies like Little Darlings with Jodie Foster and Tatum O'Neal, I think it was. It was these two girls trying to get laid at camp with Matt Dillon with cigarettes in his, and he's like, hey, and smoking, all teenagers smoking and popping, beer bottle caps.
Yeah.
That was like what we did.
Yeah.
And carving like beer, like Coors in a picnic table at the park. Just fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And these kids are testifying before Congress and they're, Greta and all these people. And I was like, geez. So that was where so I was talking with a couple of comedians about these things and I started really getting loose.
Yeah.
And I said this thing about like, so what if you got shot, if kids got shot at your school, it doesn't make you particularly knowledgeable about gun control.
Right.
Just because you pushed a fat kid in the way so that you didn't get shot. So I don't have to listen to you. I'm just being an idiot.
Well, yeah.
And then I was reaching with this stuff about trans people with the pronouns, because what came off to me was a haughtiness, using first of all, a plural for a pronoun, which is royal.
Yeah, sure.
Only royalty says we this is how we feel.
Yeah.
And so I was playing with that and saying, okay, I want to be called a there because I identify as a place, and that place is your mother's cunt.
Yeah.
This is just me just fucking throwing spaghetti on the walls. I don't give a shit.
That's also how sets develop.
That's how they develop.
Yeah.
It was the first time I tried those jokes. Now, when I develop material that's in tough places, I have a method. I say the worst version, and then usually they don't like it. But I listen to that. I listen to the and there's a sound in it, and I go, okay, I think I know what. Either I'm going to take that and I'm going to play with it, or I'm going to find a way around it because I know it now. I know I need to hear it. I need to hear the dissent. And then the next time you do the bit, and sometimes I'm like, I don't want to upset these people tonight.
Yeah.
But I know there's a bit in this that they're going to like.
Yeah.
And I work on it to the point where everybody likes it. And I'm talking about something that you're not supposed to say. And everybody, I did a bit on SNL for almost primetime television, that fucking show about child molesters.
Yeah.
And I worked on it really hard.
Yeah.
Every bit that I have that's a great bit started as a no one wants to hear this.
Yeah.
Every single one. So I know this formula.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, I didn't think that some of the stuff I was talking about was that big a deal. I think that there was a heightened sensitivity to it,
Definitely.
but they're not actually dark subjects.
Right.
If there's a new identity in the American landscape. It needs to be laughed at, scrutinized, played with, questioned. It's how we get to know each other. If you really want to get to know someone, you don't sit there and go, and tell me your experience. You go, so what? What is this? What the fuck is this? And what's that? And they go, I don't know. And you laugh and you know. And so that's how I feel.
Sure.
This is me. But so anyway, when that set hit, it was New Year's Day or something. And it was like a couple months old. And suddenly it was there on YouTube. And I immediately did what I always do. You just write to YouTube, you make a complaint form. And it takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it goes away. It's happened to me a million times.
Yeah.
Somebody tapes a show, you tell YouTube, they take it off.
Yeah.
So they didn't take it off. And I kept trying. And I got my assistant to try. She couldn't do it. I called my web guy. My lawyer called somebody at YouTube. We sent a letter and they just wouldn't take it down. And then my assistant started taking down other clips that we hadn't bothered to take, some that we just didn't care. It came down immediately. Everything was coming down. So the system was working and alive, but this one wasn't going anywhere. And it was and I was like, fuck.
That's interesting.
Because I had no interest in having a set out in the world.
Yeah.
Of course.
I was already like, I just wanted nobody to be talking about me.
That speaks to
I didn't want to be in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
I was trying to do everything I could to stay low and to only get as straight line as I could to an audience that wanted to hear the jokes and nobody else.
Right.
And I was so scared because it was getting 100,000 hits, 400,000 hits.
Dude.
All the comments were like, this is hilarious. The set on the whole, it was a good set.
Yeah.
I was proud of it.
Tremendous.
Yeah, I was working some good stuff.
But so that means that somebody there at YouTube was like, no.
They wouldn't take it down. And so then the next day,
so strange.
Every press organization had it embedded. Like RollingStone.com said, watch the leak set here.
Yeah.
And there's all these slot machines paying off. Ching, 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 ching. Just tons of money being made on this set. And it was a huge story. And then people on early morning daytime TV are talking about it. And they're telling people from the Parkland shooting, they're the parents of dead kids saying, guess what he said?
Yeah.
They're not in the audience. That's not who.
Yeah, of course. I know.
It's the last thing in the world I wanted to happen with a raw joke that had no work on it, no time on it.
There's a thing people sometimes say when they're upset about a joke. They go, I'd like to see you go up to like somebody on the street and say this to their face. And you're like, why would I do that?
Why would you like to see me do that?
Yeah. Why would I?
Why would you want that to happen to them?
Yeah. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
So that's an easy pickings thing to do. But I was in the very hot, red hot, white hot center of it.
Sure.
And it was a hard hit to take because I already had very little skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't really describe how bad it was. It was bad.
Yeah.
It's a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, it was
Thanks. I mean, other people have gone through bad things.
Yeah, of course.
And it's been a hard bunch of years for everybody.
Sure.
For like the whole goddamn country. So that's one thing that I started to look at was what's happening everywhere,
Sure.
So
and that kind of made it,
made it so much easier.
So much easier.
We love you though. Yeah. Ooh, mommy, did you enjoy that highlight? Why don't you have more fun? Click around. Click here, or here, or here, or here, or here. Look, try it out. Have more fun. Why don't you subscribe? That way, every time a video drops, you can be notified. You're not going to miss a moment of denim, okay? Try it out. Be her.